Welcome back, everyone. Ryan Reynolds has done it again. He's back at it. Another big Marvel leak to mark the anniversary of all leaks, putting Tom Holland, Mark Ruffalo, and the entire Spoiler Bros enterprise to shame. Ryan Reynolds can leak like the best of them. Always love hearing that Ryan Reynolds has leaked something. People are like, wait a minute, what has he leaked now? Well, he's leaked everything. Everything that is possible to leak, he just leaked. Just flat out posted the entire versions of all three Deadpool movies and the original Deadpool test footage that wound up getting the Deadpool movies greenlit in the first place. This also confirms one of the longest running theories that he's been joking about himself since that original Deadpool test footage leaked back in 2014 at Comic-Con, setting all this off, like setting off the entire Deadpool franchise. Maybe if we're lucky, Ryan Reynolds and the rest will start accidentally leaking some Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars stuff too. So we'll break it all down and what's going on with Deadpool just in general at Marvel right now, like Deadpool 4, the future of the Deadpool character in general. I know there's a bunch of questions about all the lawsuit stuff that Ryan Reynolds is involved in. I'll explain what's going on with that. There's been a lot of that going around the past few years with big Marvel actors, Marvel in general just having a lot of legal problems, like everybody associated with Marvel in different ways having lots of legal problems. But I can't include the entire video he posted for copyright reasons, obviously, like it's a big piracy event. He literally posted every single bit of all three movies, including the end credit scenes. Marvel, please don't try to sue me out of existence. If you ever saw somebody posting a weird YouTube video of a trailer or a clip with part of the audio that just randomly cuts out and then back in, or it was edited in some weird way, I guarantee you it was because of copyright reasons. Something about copyright made the video worse. Like, lawyers generally are known to ruin everything. But there's like 4 different jokes going on here in Ryan Reynolds' new leak at the same time. It's like 4 layers deep, full of comedy. First, there's just the fact that he's posting all 3 Deadpool movies at the same time, just clowning on Marvel in general. Like, here's every single bit of all the Deadpool movies, boom, for free, online. Typical Deadpool move, typical Ryan Reynolds move. Easy to make fun of Marvel right now in general, just with the way things have been going for them recently. Bit of a low point for them. That is why there were so many jokes about that during Deadpool and Wolverine, just full of bits, clowning on Marvel and Kevin Feige in general.
Hate my life, and BS, you're a cock-chugging for approving that Disney Fox deal.
Then, as you probably noticed, he's taken all 3 movies and the original test footage and edited them so they play at 100 times speed, like super sped up, but in complete reverse order. Like, Deadpool and Wolverine plays first, Deadpool 2, then the first Deadpool movie in the test footage, but all 3 of the movies play from the end of the movie to the beginning in reverse order. All until he cuts in the original Deadpool test footage where he plays it in real time and in the correct order from start to finish so that you can see it like it would normally appear, as it sort of greets on screen at the very beginning of that. With the ending tag message wishing everyone a happy 10-year anniversary from the beginning of production on the first Deadpool movie, which is the main reason why he leaked all this stuff and posted it in this very joke kind of way. All to mark the anniversary of the beginning of production on the first Deadpool movie. If it's been a minute since you've seen that original test footage that leaked out back in the day, the beginning of the original Deadpool movie, like the actual movie itself, plays like the test footage with a couple minor changes, but it's basically the same vibes as the test footage during that big bridge fight scene. One of the next jokes here that he baked in, like Inception, moving a layer deeper into the jokes, there was this trend on Twitter the last couple years, especially when Elon Musk bought it, when he fired a lot of the people who worked in all the departments in Twitter, particularly one of the teams being the copyright team, who handled taking down all the pirated clips. So for a little while, for like a hot minute, you'd see random people, alt accounts, posting entire movies. Sometimes they wouldn't even speed them up and edit or like cut the frames of the movie. They literally just upload an entire movie as is, and you could watch it on Twitter for about a day or two until they would eventually take it down. All because the people that were left at Twitter after all the firings were such a small team, it just took them forever to work through the mountain of copyright claims that studios and other people would file every single hour, just because so much content gets uploaded to Twitter every hour. They've largely fixed a lot of those issues, like they're way quicker about taking that stuff down, so you don't see quite as much of this happening nowadays. It still happens every once in a while, and it did happen a lot when Deadpool and Wolverine came out in theaters. Which is like the next big joke that Ryan Reynolds is making fun of here. When Deadpool and Wolverine first came out in theaters last year, Ryan Reynolds, even Sean Levy, the director, were sharing other people's posts on Twitter about the movie, which themselves contain pirated clips from inside the theater. There was a little bit of controversy about this when it started to happen because there were people that were complaining that Ryan Reynolds and Sean Levy were promoting piracy of the movie by sharing these pirated clips that other people were making on Twitter.
It's the one thing that Feige said is off limits.
Then Ryan Reynolds, Sean Levy would share those clips, but it basically you could tell that it was a pirated clip from the movie. Normally, studios' lawyers would freak out about this. You would be banned for life, like they would put you in a deep dark hole so that everybody would forget about you. But because we're talking about Marvel here, a long time ago, they learned that they could turn this kind of stuff into free marketing for the movie, and it was more effective a lot of times than regular paid advertising, like legit advertising regular trailers that studios normally do. Usually it winds up working pretty well for them. In the case of Deadpool and Wolverine, it did help the movie a lot. Like they got a lot of extra attention from the piracy, and it helped it significantly. So here's where we get to the other big idea. The entire Deadpool franchise of movies, Ryan Reynolds' whole career as the real Deadpool, like the better version of Deadpool, not talking about that Wolverine Origins version of Deadpool, owes its life to piracy, basically, to leaking of things. Which I feel like this whole leak-aversary post that he just made confirms that he was in fact the person who leaked the original Deadpool test footage back in 2014, completely setting off the Deadpool franchise. Most of you probably have some vague recollection of what was happening around that time. It was Comic-Con 2014, so it was like summer 2014. They revealed after the fact that that was the whole reason why the studio greenlit the first Deadpool movie. Like, oh, people actually love this. Okay, we'll make that Deadpool movie. When it actually happened, though, like right after it happened, Ryan Reynolds, everyone else behind the movie that were tied to the movie, pretended like they had no idea who actually leaked that test footage. Like, we don't know. Like, we don't know how it got leaked. Somebody just randomly leaked it. Recently, while he was promoting Deadpool and Wolverine the last couple years, he revealed Gordon Reynolds was the one who leaked it, his fake twin that he created while marketing a completely different movie a couple more years before that. Later, he turned the Gordon Reynolds bit into a bigger joke, like a longer-running joke. He credited Nicepool in Deadpool and Wolverine as Gordon Reynolds, and then Blake Lively, on the other side of things, included a special thanks to Gordon Reynolds during the credits for her movie, This Is Us, because of work that Ryan Reynolds did on that movie behind the scenes.
Oh, this guy.
All to say that Ryan Reynolds is Gordon Reynolds. Like, he was basically confirming that he personally was the one who leaked the original test footage, which I think most of us believed after the fact. Like, that was the big conspiracy theory. Like, you know what? It was probably Ryan Reynolds because he's the only guy who's not in danger of being fired by the studio because he is Deadpool. Like, he is the big moneymaker for them. So Ryan Reynolds basically owes his career as Deadpool to the fact that he leaks things on the regular. Like, he owes his life to leaks and piracy. That is one of the reasons why now Marvel leans into a lot of the leaks, doing them on purpose to drive hype for their movies. It's the same type of phenomenon when Tom Holland started the whole Spoiler Bros bit, accidentally leaking Spider-Man Homecoming stuff when he was brand new, then Avengers Infinity War, Endgame stuff. Mark Ruffalo had his big Thor leaks. Now we're kind of at the point where they don't leak stuff on accident anymore. It's all studio engineered leaks to use for marketing purposes. Like it's the studio trying to drive hype in their own stuff by leaking it on purpose. The closest thing we've actually had to a real leak, like an actual leak in recent years, was the whole Andrew Garfield being caught by the delivery driver in Atlanta while he was shooting Spider-Man No Way Home. All those leaks from Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars with the concept art recently, I just did a whole big video about it, so I'll link it at the end of this. Those were publicly available for over a year before Marvel had them taken down. Why would they leave spoilery stuff up for a year unless they wanted to help drive hype in the movies? Just another example of Marvel using leaks to help drive more interest in the movies. Sometimes it works better than others, like when it feels like it's unplanned, like accidental, then it usually plays a little bit better. So if it feels like Marvel leaks stuff on purpose, if something comes up, they probably did. For those of you asking about the whole Ryan Reynolds lawsuit situation on the side here, he got roped into a lawsuit between his wife Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni over their movie This Is Us. Initially, he had nothing to do with the lawsuit, like he wasn't really part of all this, but then got roped in after the fact. Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni filed different lawsuits against each other. Justin added Ryan Reynolds to his lawsuit because of his involvement with Blake Lively behind the scenes while they were making that movie. There's a lot of he said, she said. They all generally sound like terrible people, and I absolutely do not care about any of the lawsuits at all. What's probably going to wind up happening eventually is that they'll all be settled out of court, which is how most lawsuits in Hollywood get settled, between people, between studios. Generally, nobody wants to go to trial because it costs so much money, it winds up not being worth it.
I'm not allowed to read the scripts because I'm so bad at keeping secrets for this exact reason.
For those of you asking, though, if Marvel cares about any of that, like Ryan Reynolds getting dragged through the news because of all this, the short answer is no. Marvel does not care. They generally wait this stuff out. Like, unless Ryan Reynolds was found to have killed someone in cold blood and they found evidence of the body and there's like a video of him killing someone, he's probably not going to be in trouble with Marvel. This is actually pretty normal behavior for Hollywood, just in general. People sue each other here for stupid, petty reasons all the time. Studios, like corporations, do it to each other even more than that. Whatever winds up happening with these Ryan Reynolds lawsuits that are going on right now, it won't really affect there being more Deadpool movies or Ryan Reynolds continuing as Deadpool in other Marvel movies like Avengers Doomsday or Secret Wars. When it actually comes to Deadpool 4, the way that Ryan Reynolds explains it is that he doesn't want to actually make that movie for a long time. If there's another Deadpool movie, it's probably going to be at least like 6 years. Generally, what that means is you'll probably just see him popping up in other people's movies, like he says, playing third, fourth, fifth banana to other people in their movies. We will see who winds up being one of the first spoiler bros to legit leak something from Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars. Whatever they wind up releasing this year in terms of teasers or Easter eggs or details, of course I will do videos about all that stuff. I just did a much bigger video on Deadpool and Wolverine, deleted scenes, alternate endings. Click here to learn about that because there's like 10 different movies baked into that movie. And here's all those Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars leaks that I did the video on. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.